Bagamoyo, known for being the epicenter for slavery during the 19th century in East Africa and also was the capital of German East Africa. Stay tuned to learn more. Welcome everyone to Smart Up Travel. I am Ifeanyi. Thank you. Thank you very much for taking time. Thank you. The North Coast, or the north of Dar es Salaam, has some hidden gems that you should definitely know about. For example, Bagamoyo, Sandani National Park, Tanga, and Pangani. Now on today's episode, I'll be specifically focusing on Bagamoyo and some of the historical significance of this town north of Dar es Salaam. For many people traveling to Tanzania, you hear about Zanzibar, Stone Town, and you may hear about Arusha and other national parks. But Bagamoyo has so much historical significance that when you travel to Tanzania, you should definitely visit this place. But before I go further, if you're new to the channel, kindly like, share, and subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red box below this video that says subscribe. The North Coast, or the north of Dar es Salaam. North of Dar es Salaam, the beach resorts give way to a string of little visited fishing villages, interspersed by mangrove forests and sweeping sandy beaches that have been largely overlooked by tourism. Bagamoyo, the first major settlement north of Dar es Salaam, is a hugely atmospheric town. In the 19th century, it was East Africa's foremost slaving port, from which there have been many picturesque reminders and German colonial reminders too. Set on a beautiful mangrove fringed bay, 72 kilometers north of Dar es Salaam, the tumble-down 19th century slaving town of Bagamoyo positively wallows in its sordid past. It's an attractive day trip from Dar es Salaam and has enough interest to reward longer stays too, including a vibrant art scene and some unusual possible excursions, including birdwatching and hippo spotting on the Ruvu River and the medieval ruins of Kaule nearby. Bagamoyo Historic Center, Mji Mkugwe, which means Old Town in Kiswahili, contains a wealth of buildings from slaving times, often achingly poignant and always photogenic, especially when framed by slender coconut palms and glimpses of the ocean. A brief history of Bagamoyo. Bagamoyo proximity to Zanzibar, 42 kilometers offshore, is key to the town's historical importance. During the 18th and 19th centuries, trade in the Western Indian Ocean was controlled by Zanzibar's Busaidi Sultanate, which became one of the wealthiest dynasties Africa has ever seen. Their riches stem from export of goods from the mainland, especially slaves and ivory, which were exchanged for cotton, beads, and other manufactured goods. An estimated 769,000 kidnapped people were transported from the East African coast during the 19th century, most of whom passed through Bagamoyo, which served as a major caravan terminus for routes to Lake Tanganyika and Lake Victoria, both more than 1,000 kilometers away. Countless more died, uncounted, along the caravan routes, long before reaching the ocean. Given its trading links, Bagamoyo was a logical starting or ending point for many Europeans into the Dark Continent. Stanley, Burton, and Grant all passed through, as did a number of Christian missionaries, and most famously, the body of David Livingstone. In the 1800s, following the groundwork laid by explorers and missionaries, the European colonization of East Africa began in earnest, and for the Germans, who had been accorded the territories now comprising of Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda, Bagamoyo was an obvious choice for the capital of German East Africa. It was a status it enjoyed for less than a decade, as the Abu Shiri War between 1888 and 1889 prompted the Germans to shift their capital to Dar es Salaam. Bagamoyo continued as a provincial capital, but with the slave and ivory trades at an end, And with the Bagamoyo shallow harbor eclipsed by new facilities at Dar es Salaam, Tanga, and Mombasa, the town entered a long period of economic decline, from which until a few recent years ago, it had never really escaped. Bagamoyo is definitely an interesting and insightful place to visit. You know, oftentimes we hear about the continent of Africa, and in regards to people that were kidnapped and made into slaves or slavery. When we hear about it, we think about maybe Ghana, Elmina Castle, and different places. But the coastal regions of Tanzania, Kenya, has a lot of history in regards to people being kidnapped and sold into slavery. And that's very, very interesting. Bagamoyo, in recent times, I mean, that's the 19th century, over 700, right? And 39,000 people and even more were actually sold into slavery. People that were kidnapped and sold into slavery. And that's very interesting. So definitely that's a place you want to visit and get that history when you travel to Tanzania. And it was also the capital of German East Africa. Now, Germany controlled a few countries actually in East Africa. For example, Tanzania, they had a strong control there, Rwanda, and also Burundi. And Bagamoyo at one point was their capital before they moved to Dar es Salaam. So that's very interesting. So in my last episode, I listed some of the intercity bus services that can take you to various cities within Tanzania. So definitely you want to check out that episode. And when you go to Tanzania, you could definitely visit Bagamoyo. It's only at least like 72 kilometers from Dar es Salaam. So it will be a nice even day trip for you to go. You can go for a day and return to Dar es Salaam if you're based in Dar es Salaam. And you can also stay in Bagamoyo for a longer period of time if you really want to explore and see other areas and other ruins in the area. So definitely check that out. Also, they have amazing beaches there. You know, most of the time we hear about Zanzibar beaches and a lot of people want to go to Zanzibar, but Bagamoyo has some hidden gems and some beaches which is not widely explored by tourists. So you get an unspoiled and tranquil place to visit on some of these beaches. So definitely that'll be a place you want to check out. I want to say thank you all for being a part of this Smart Up Travel community, and we'll continue providing you with top travel information to help you travel smart in different parts of the world. I want to say to you, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel. You can subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red box below this video that says subscribe. I am Ifeanyi, and thank you for watching Smart Up Travel.